Hello, it is Liz, or Lizasaurus, as of a few days ago. I changed my name because I drew a screaming dinosaur, and I decided that that is who I am now. If I am lower energy today, that is because I've just spent hours voice recording for a character in a video game. I'm actually super excited about a specific project that's happening, but I can't say it. It's a secret, so I didn't tell you anything. Anyway, the other day I was reading Honbarian, which is one of my favorite comics on webtoon. In fact, it is probably my favorite comic. It's been that way for a very long time. I love Honbarian, and I was thinking to myself, what would one of my comic characters look like if it was a Honbarian character? And then I thought, I will do a video where I draw one of my characters in the Honbarian style. And Olive Coat. I don't know if you'll see this. That's the creator, Lily, or Olive Coat, is her username. I don't know if you'll see this video, but I would like to personally, from me to you, personally send an attack your way, because when I came up with this idea, I thought to myself, well, maybe I'll draw multiple art styles. Maybe I'll take my character and draw in multiple art styles. And that didn't happen. And you know why? Olive Coat. You know why? Because it took me 20 millennia to capture even the essence of Honbarian. Even the essence. It was so hard. I didn't have time to even go into the other art styles. I spent 6 hours on this single drawing. I'm pretty sure, I think that Olive Coat, I think her sisters help color her art. I'm also like 40% sure that I just made that up right now, though. If I didn't, though, then you are all guilty of being too good at your jobs. I need you to explain yourself in a court of law. How do you post so consistently with such a complex art style? How do we live in the same reality? All this to say, I think that Honbarian has a really great art style, and genuinely, I think it's such a good comic. I would highly recommend reading it. Today, we are going to watch a speed draw of me coloring this, which I have on my iPad, but I'll put the video on screen. The character I selected to draw this is Elsie. Elsie is a character I picked because I'll put her on screen. The reason I selected Elsie is because she has freckles and a fun pink ponytail, and I thought that might be fun in the Honbarian art style. She actually ended up looking kind of like strawberry shortcake, which wasn't the intention, but I am embracing that reality because I like it. So, the line art. Fun fact. This isn't even about Honbarian. Just in general, my sketch art is kind of disorganized. I don't start with like a basic. I've seen other people start with like basic shapes, and I think I probably should do that. I probably should have like a face drawing method. I noticed the faces in Honbarian look like faces. Like they look more like faces than my faces. I draw faces, but they're not as face-ish. I don't know how to say this. The Honbarian face shape, externally, this part of the face, I think is more accurate in Honbarian than it is with my comic, is what I'm trying to say. This part, what do you call this? I'm forgetting what my face is. But fun little backstory real quick, which I was going to say about the sketching. The reason my sketches, pretty much regardless of style, so even my own style, I start without like the basic shapes. I've seen a lot of artists start with like the facial anatomy, basic like stuff beneath it. I probably should do that, but the reason I don't do that is because fun little fact is my eyes suck. They suck at doing their job. Their only job is to see, and they act so like I'm asking them for so much and doing literally the only thing they were created, the only thing they function for. When I was between ages 3 to 16 actually, I did traditional art. I didn't have an iPad to do digital art with. And when I did traditional art, because my sight was so bewilderingly corrupt, I couldn't see pencil. Like, I had a special exemption at, like, elementary school where when other kids would use pencil, I had these special, like, jet black pencils because I couldn't see pencil. I still can't. And so naturally, I couldn't sketch before inking anything because, like, in order to even have a sketch, I'd have to draw really hard, and then I wouldn't be able to erase it because of how dark it was. So I went straight to line art. Between ages 4 and 16, I jumped straight to pen and marker, which, looking at it now, is such... It just feels like a sin. It feels like a risk. It feels dangerous. But that's all I could really do at the time. So at around age 16, when I got my iPad, I realized that I could start sketching now, because, as of 7 years ago, because, on the iPad, on Procreate, you can make the sketch as dark as you need it to be, and then once you have the lines over it, you can just erase the sketch layer, and that pretty much solved my problem. So now I sketch, but the thing is, I still sketch almost like I'm roughly lining. Like, I don't have any basic anatomy below the line art. I'm saying this to say that I know that watching the speed draw, it's not like other speed draws I see. It's not as organized, and that's the reason why. It probably isn't a very efficient way to draw, but that's just where we are right now. The line art. Oh my word. Lily, if you're watching this, what color are your lines? Because I think I had like 3 individual crises throughout this time period trying to figure that out. At first I thought they were just a darker color of whatever the fill was, but then I thought they were brown. Just brown, I think, like maybe different shades of brown. And then a part of me, I don't think they're black, but a part of me is like, what if I'm overthinking this to the point that my cone cells just cannot perceive black as a color anymore? The eyes, oh my word, I'll pause this for a second. My art style that I draw my comic in right now, I don't draw irises. I just have like the little black eyes, and the little light on them. So I didn't really know what my comic characters' irises looked like, and so this was fun, because I got to draw irises for Elsie. I imagined her having green irises, but it was super fun. And it was also one thing that's kind of classic to Honbarian that I noticed back like a while ago, is the pupils on Honbarian are very small. In fact, I don't think you ever see them big. Like, I think they're always very small, which is kind of like a classic Honbarian thing. The hair, yeah. The hair has shading on the side. In fact, let me just pause this again. If you're looking at this picture and you're seeing a bunch of random scribbly pointless lines in the hair, that is because you are seeing correctly. I can't... I have learned that I think most artists are a bit better or a bit more detailed with hair than I am. My hair is very 2D. Like, Honbarian is 2D, but it's also 2D in a way where it's like, it feels a little like it could exist in 3-dimensional space. With my characters, the hair is very flat, so I wasn't entirely sure, honestly, where to put the like random lines in her hair, but I did try, because I noticed that's something that Honbarian does, is they have kind of more detail in the lines. I also noticed that she shades her hair on the side, like where the light isn't hitting, which is something I also didn't typically do, so that was kind of fun to do. Also, another thing, the eyelashes are the same color as the hair, which is cool because that's like real life. In reality, our eyelashes are the same as our hair. That's why I have non-existent eyelashes, because I have blonde hair that simply refuses to be seen. The lips, oh my word. Yeah, let me talk about that for a second. So I noticed, this is actually something I didn't notice about the Honbarian style until I made this drawing, because I was kind of paying attention to every little thing, because I was trying to kind of capture the as close as I could get to the real style. And I realized that the characters have lips. My characters, I don't know how to have lips Like, I don't know how to do that. And so my characters don't have lips. They have holes on their face that talk. They have, like, stuff inside. They have, like, teeth and tongues and stuff. One tongue per person. But they don't have the lips. In Honbarian, I noticed that Olive Coat colors the bottom lip and then shades the top lip. I didn't really color the bottom lip that much at all because I was too scared. I was too scared. But I did shade the top lip, and I was actually, like, surprisingly, I was pretty happy with it. Like, I really, really liked it. It almost made me want to add lips to my characters, but I feel like that's too much of a commitment because I know I'm not going to remember it all the time, and so sometimes they're going to have lips and sometimes they're not going to have lips. And people are going to be like, why do they have lips? And I'm not going to know. So I'm not going to do that. But that's just another thing in Honbarian. Another little detail that I think adds to the style. There's also, I think, a slight blush on the faces, but that could have just been based on the panels I was looking at. And then, yeah, I did some polka dots in the background. This was fun because this was kind of like a time I got to really look at all the details of a style. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this. Lily, if you see this, I don't know if you will or won't see this video. Again, your art style is very, very good. Very impressive. And your comic. What's crazy is the art style isn't even why I like the comic. It's a huge benefit, but the art style is really just a compliment on top of a really well-written story and really good fleshed out characters. So I really can only compliment the work that you do. In the end, this picture did not look exactly like Honbarian, but it looked close enough for me to recognize the feeling or like the elements of Honbarian, if that makes sense, and I was content with that result. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if the creator sees this, please, what are your lines? Just for my own knowledge, I'm not even gonna do this again right now, but just what are the lines? What color are the lines? I need to know what your lines are doing.